Very grateful to be here. Susan had contacted me and wanted me to share a little bit about my experience. A little bit about me: I'm an MBA and MS in marketing candidate. One more semester, this semester to go, almost there. And last semester I knew that it was about time to begin looking at what I really wanted to do. I had a few internships, but didn't quite know what I really wanted to do. And that's where I was able to sit down with Susan and talk with her a little bit about my desires and what my degrees meant and all that. Had some interviews with people, opportunity to shadow a couple of people, and found out what I wanted to do. And then the resumes started going out. And I have to say, I went through it and I was looking at it, didn't get any responses. In fact, where I currently work now is Dish Network. And I had previously applied to them each year, and I didn't get any response. Susan had contacted me, and she let me know that Dish Network was coming here on campus. And coincidentally, it actually happened on one of my test dates. And so I'm really appreciative of the Graduate Career Connections. She talked with who would soon be my manager about the position that they were recruiting for. And she put me in contact with him, sent me an email. I think it came in late at night. And it was at that point where I started doing all the research. I immediately tried to find a job posting online. I found it. It's for an operations analyst. And that led me to look a little bit around the job and forward me to the career page. And that's where I was able to find three key definitions of what they saw in an employee. And that's what I've come to know as the PAW method, or way of looking at things. That was pride, adventure, and winning. When I saw those three keywords, I had confidence in my resume, the keywords, and showing someone that knew how to step in and take control and get things done. So I immediately I called the hiring manager the next day. And what was great was I did look at his LinkedIn profile, found out that he was a graduate from the University of Colorado Boulder. That was where I went to undergrad. So immediately when he asked a little bit about me, I already had that connection with him. And immediately went into talking a little bit about Dish, and I asked him, my question was, well, I noticed that you guys, pride was one of your main attributes that you look in for someone. What exactly does that mean? And that talked a little bit more, and basically the conversation said, well, why don't you send me your resume, cover letter right on over. Immediately sent that there, and he ended up contacting me the next day, said that hopefully HR would be contacting me. Lo and behold, HR contacted me about a few hours later, actually, and there she laid out a little bit more of what the process would be if they decided that they would like to continue it further. There they put me through like 3 hours of assessments that was done all online, and then I didn't get any contact for a week. So it was a very long week. I immediately got a call, it was literally like a week later, and they said, well, why don't you come in, we're going to do some more assessments, and then we're going to have some interviews. So I was down there for, it was literally almost half a day. I was there for about 4 or 5 hours. And during that time, it was a few days in between hearing from them and them bringing me in, I was doing more of the research. And I actually looked at Glassdoor.com, and I actually talked with Carrie, who also helped me out with some suggestions on how I should conduct myself during the interview process. My first interview was with the hiring manager, so I had spoken with him over the phone, but it was a great way to really connect with him. We talked a lot about Boulder, a lot about what I like to do. It was kind of I think it was the setup interview. It was more of finding out me as a person. And then they brought in a heavy hitter immediately afterwards, which was his manager. Being that this was an analytic position, he basically sat down and he said, okay, Micah, I have a scenario for you. You are a proud owner of a lemonade stand, You're selling lemonades, and you've been in the business all summer long, and you have a decrease in lemons. What's going on? What's the problem? And that was it. And so I had to talk with him about my thought process of what I thought maybe the scenario. I must have done something right. He was kind of beaming at me, towards the end, and said, "Well, we'll see you later." And anyways, I went through every manager in the department that I'm in, all the way up to the director. She looked for qualities in me about myself, what I like to do. I talked about my photography. I talked about my love for hiking and my family. And it was well coordinated amongst all the managers. They each hit me on many aspects. One manager asked me about technical questions, analytics, some math issues, accounting issues as well. And then I didn't hear from them for another week. And then the process went on eventually until they sent the offer in. But overall, with my degrees, I really love what I do. I'm an operations analyst, and my main job is to deal with all of the vendors. So you imagine all the millions of subscribers for Dish Network, they have to send in their payments. And those payments are happening in two ways. They're calling through the, I'm still learning all this stuff as well.
Okay, Micah, I'm going to pull you back, okay? So it's obvious you love your job, and that's wonderful. But
it's been a great experience.
Yeah, let me ask you this one. So, do you feel that doing your extra research to get to know the hiring manager before you had that first interview, before you even sent your information into them, do you feel that that made you more confident when you actually came to the interview to meet with him?
Yeah, I think knowing him a little bit more and then understanding him through the LinkedIn profile, you could tell that he was someone that really liked what he did. His LinkedIn profile was with Warren Buffett, and they're kind of shoulder to shoulder, looking. He really exhibited what was on this website. He lived the pride, adventure, and winning. And I knew that if I came across that way as well, it would be a good connection. And when we sat down together, we just hit it off very well. I knew that first interview was very positive.
Great, wonderful. Now, what's really important, thank you, and let's hear it from Micah. And definitely congratulations on your new position.
I just want to make one comment about something I think Micah did really well. And I think one of the difficult things when you're thinking about looking for a job and maybe making a job change is crystallizing in your own mind what you think you really want to do. And I think that's a hard thing. You know what you're good at, you know what your skills are, but I think, Micah, that's something you did really well, which is that you kind of ultimately said, these are the things I love. And if I could find this kind of role, this kind of company, and I think that intersection, coupled with your preparation, made a really big difference in terms of how you landed the job. Because it was a good fit, and it was a good fit on multiple levels, functionally, culturally, etc. So I thought it would be great for you to hear from him because it's a real life example of, you all can do this.
Okay. Yeah, and not only that, there are so many people out there that they'll be excited that they get the name of a contact in a company from a networking group or from your career services or from some other source, and they get so excited that they have a name that they stop doing the rest of the work. Getting the name is only the first step. That's when all your work really starts to happen. That's why only the top 1 to 5% of any candidates for any job search are doing all this extra effort to get in touch with hiring managers. You might think that there's a flood of people who are just bombarding hiring managers all the time, but that's not the truth. The truth is, of all these hundreds and hundreds of job applicants, 50% of them are not even going to be able to apply for the job correctly. That's what you're facing against. You're not competing against the 90% of the people who are getting cut. You're competing against the top 10%. And that means you need to be giving your top effort. Don't stop with the name. Continue to when you have understanding, not just about the company, but about the people. And I think Micah did a wonderful job of identifying the culture and making that work for him in his job search process. So congratulations again on your job. That's very cool. Okay, so this is what the essence of the personal touch is all about. You have to get that name. Then you must figure out who they are as a company, who they are as people. And finally, you need to get your resume into their hands. You need that contact information, and you need to not rely on the HR to see your talents. Get it to the hiring manager who will appreciate your talents. All right, my name is Donna Shannon. Here's the rest of my contact information, and thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Donna.